You've heard me and probably 100,000 other people tell you that one of the most important pieces of your YouTube channel is your thumbnail. And it is very true. Those thumbnails can make or break someone clicking on your video versus someone else's video when they find them in the search rankings or on the suggested videos column in YouTube. And so you need to make them the best they can possibly be. But how do you do that? Right? So I'm going to teach you how to create your thumbnails to make them the best they can possibly be right now. Hey there, Jessica Stansberry here, your resident video and YouTube marketing strategist for entrepreneurs who are ready to take it big time and use video and YouTube to grow their business like whoa. Now, if you're new here and you have not hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do that. It's down there and it's red and it's pretty. And when you click it, it makes me happy. And if you click the bell, you will get a notification every single time I publish a video, so you don't ever miss anything that I come out with. All right, so the how-tos of how to create a thumbnail. Before I actually get into how to create a thumbnail, because it is literally super basic and awesome and amazing, I want to talk to you about the best practices for thumbnails. See, here's the thing. You can go into Canva or PicMonkey or Photoshop or whatever and create the most beautiful to you thumbnail in the world. But if it doesn't follow YouTube's best practices that have been tested and changed and modified by people who've created videos for years and years and years, it's probably not going to be effective. I have a hard time sometimes with creating thumbnails that I probably wouldn't just ever put that graphic on Facebook or my website or whatever, because it's a little bit and loud, but that's what works on YouTube. So let's talk about the best practices before we get into the how-to. Okay, so best practices here for your YouTube thumbnails are as follows. Your thumbnails need to be bright and eye-catching. Now, if your thumbnail is really dark and it doesn't make people want to see it, then it's not going to get clicked on. So if it's bright and eye-catching because you're using bright colors and fun faces and movements, then that will work really well for you. It also needs to have your face. So your face is the face people are seeing on your YouTube channel. That's what they're seeing. And if you're not willing to put your face out there, then you're not going to be able to grow as easy. So I want you to be putting your face on your thumbnails. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, it familiarizes them with who they're getting ready to see inside of the video. But two, it also helps them connect. So anytime someone can connect with a person, a human, eyeballs, whatever, in a picture, it helps them increase their likelihood that they're going to like that person, that they're going to click on it, all of those things. So when your eyeballs are looking at the camera and you are actually on the thumbnail, then it will prove to be really great for you. Another thing that we're going to put into this best practices column here is to have very few words on your thumbnails. Now, there's some people who say not to have any words, and I like words. You can test out and see what works best for your audience, because your audience may not like words on a thumbnail. My audience does. It really just depends. But keep the words very minimal and also make them really big and easy to read. So no scripted fonts, none of that mess, because those words need to be easy to read when someone is looking at your thumbnail, and they need to be super minimal so that it catches their attention. And then the next best practice I have for you, actually the last best practice I have for you for thumbnails, is to make it different than everybody else's. So here's the thing. What I do and what I advise my clients to do and people in my group program and my membership community is to go to YouTube and find and search for the key term that you are hoping to rank for in your video. So whether that's funny cat videos or how to get found on YouTube or whatever it is, go and do a search for that and see what the top 10 or so people's thumbnails look like. Now, you don't want to be so different that people are like, wow, that really sticks out like a sore thumb and I would never click on it because all of these other people look normal and this person looks crazy. But you do want to be different. So if everybody in that column is using reds and yellows and blacks because that's YouTube colors or whatever, then be a little different. Throw some pink in that puppy, or, use a bright orange or a bright yellow or something that's going to make yourself and your thumbnail look different than all of the rest, because that will win, as long as it's following the rest of the best practices. Okay, so that's like basic best practices for your YouTube videos, but you want to know like how to actually create them. So there are 2 programs that I would recommend for creating your thumbnails, and there are way more than these 2. You have to find what works for you, but the 2 that I like best are Adobe Photoshop, if you already possess that and know how to use it, and Canva. Now Canva is completely free. They do have some upgraded paid versions, but as a general rule, it's pretty free and you can use it to your heart's content. So what I would suggest in both of these programs is just to go in and play with creating thumbnails. Thumbnails are a big test anyway. Heck, your YouTube channel is a big test. You never know what is going to work best. So I would absolutely go in and just play with the thumbnails and see what looks best for you, following all of the best practices that I just talked about. Now, one quick tip for you is that all of your thumbnails need to be the size, as of right now, 2018, of 1920 by 1080 pixels. That is the standard frame size for a video, and that is the standard size for a thumbnail. So if you want to make sure nothing's getting cut off on the upload or it's not getting skewed in some way when you upload it to YouTube, you need to size it to 1920 by 1080 pixels. Now, again, follow the best practices, go into Canva or Photoshop and size it correctly, and you've got a winning thumbnail. Now, if you found a program that you love to create thumbnails in, or if you found something that works for creating thumbnails as far as like other best practices that you use that really work for you, I'd love to hear them in the comments, because they could really help somebody that is searching for how to create thumbnails on their YouTube channel. So hit me up in the comments and let me know. And until next time, hit subscribe so you don't miss anything else with me, and I'll see you later. Bye, y'all.